Hello, welcome back. I'm Erica with Revival Threadworks, and in today's video we're going to start a whole new series called Sewing 101. We are going to start with the basics today, and that is choosing a sewing machine. So I'm going to take you through the three what I call levels of sewing machines that I have in my own personal arsenal here, which machine I started with, which one I moved up to, and then my final sewing machine, which is a Bernina. I'm going to talk to you about what these sewing machines can do, what you want to look for when you're trying to choose a machine, and basically we're just going to start from the very beginning with what you need to do to get started with sewing. So if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is talk about different levels of sewing machines. And then once we do that, once we kind of talk about all those different things, I'm going to go with each sewing machine and show you what that sewing machine can do. So right here we have a beginner sewing machine. So this is a machine by Brother. It's the CS-6000i. This is the sewing machine that I bought many years ago when I first wanted to start sewing some things around my house. This machine at the time was about $200. I think right now they're probably more like $300, just I think with inflation. But this machine has all kinds of different sewing stitches. It's got 59 different stitches. It's got auto start so that you don't have to have a pedal if you don't want. It has speed. It's a computerized sewing machine. This is what I started with. Now, once I actually got into sewing a little bit more, I upgraded to a Baby Lock Brilliant sewing machine. That's this machine right here. This one has, oh gosh, a whole bunch more stitch selections than the other one. It's a Baby Lock, so it's definitely a better brand or a higher end brand. It is also computerized. It's got all kinds of different stitches, all kinds of different things that you can do with it. It also has the auto start and stop and all kinds of computerized different features. This machine I used for a couple of years, and it did me very well. I really love this machine, and I keep this machine because if I ever have anyone that comes to sew with me, they can use this machine. And then the final machine that I ended up with is my Bernina 735. And yeah, you can see me in the little reflection there. Anyway, it's a patchwork edition. This machine is what I would call like a Cadillac of machines. Bernina is a very good brand, but it is very expensive. I am not going to lie to you. This machine was definitely an expensive choice, but I don't regret it for 1 second. And I do, as if you see over here, there's all kinds of different presser feet. So as I got more into sewing and I started wanting to do more things and have my products or projects look a little bit better, I did upgrade to a bigger machine. So these are the different, this is just the different types of machines that we have here. Again, this is a beginner machine. This would be kind of like an intermediate machine. And then this is the final machine that I've ended up with that I'm going to stay with. So now let's go ahead and turn each machine on and talk about what those machines can do for you. So for someone who's interested in getting into sewing, I would always recommend a starter machine like this one. So this machine, I actually looked it up and I bought it in 2011. So it's been 15 years since I bought this machine, but I only really started trying to learn to sew well about 4 years ago. So I've had it for a very long time, but I didn't actually start using it for quite a while. I think I ended up paying about $200 or $215 for this machine. Now the CS-6000i is not the current model. The current model is a CS-7000i, and I just found one on Amazon for $250. So the price actually hasn't gone up the way that I thought it did, but a $250 machine should do you just fine. What you're trying to do when you're learning to sew is you're trying to learn the process. So you're not going to be able to be a master quilter or a master garment sewer or a master bag maker right out of the box. That's just not going to happen, at least not with anyone that I've ever encountered. You're going to want to practice. You want to learn, that you have to put your fabric right side together. You have to learn that, when you put it underneath the presser foot, you actually even have to learn what a presser foot is, but you have to learn that, your eyes want to follow the fabric over here. You've got to learn so many different things. So I would always recommend that you start with a machine like this. Start with a machine that's only a few $100s that helps you learn the ins and outs of using a machine. So you have to learn how to thread it. You have to learn how to change the presser foot. You have to learn how to thread your needle, to change your needle, to use your bobbin, things like that. So I would never, ever recommend a beginning sewer to purchase a machine that's much more than about this. So this machine I used for, I would say, a good year, maybe a year and a half-ish before I upgraded. So in just one second, we're going to move to the baby lock so I can show you what I upgraded to. But I wanted to talk to you one minute more about what this machine does. So yes, it has all kinds of different sewing choices over here. So these are different, gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I don't even know. Drawing a blank about stitches. Oh my gosh. It has 59 different stitches that you can do. You can do buttonhole, you can do straight, you can do zigzag, you can do some decorative stitches right here. This is a really nice introduction to what a sewing machine can do for you. It's computerized. So when you want to choose your stitches, you just, go up and down here and it helps you determine what you're looking for. This right here is a speed control. So if you're not using a foot pedal and you're using your start stop button, that's when this comes into play. You can use this to manually change the speed. If you use a foot pedal, then you use your foot to determine the speed. This goes backward. This is needle down. This is for your presser foot. So this machine literally gives you all the things that you need to know to start sewing. So we'll go over those specifics in another video, but I just wanted to at least talk to you about an entry-level machine. So now let's move to the baby lock and I'll show you how it was an upgrade. Okay, so my first machine upgrade was to a Baby Lock Brilliant. Now, the Brother machine that I originally purchased, like I said, was like $215-ish, something like that. This one was definitely a step up, and it was about $1,000. So, obviously 5 times as much, but I was ready for it. I had spent my good quality year and a half learning the ins and outs of sewing, figuring out what I wanted my sewing machine to do, and then I moved up. So this machine has a lot of the same features as a Brother does, and in fact, maybe Brother's connected to Baby Lock. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking. Maybe I'm talking foolish stuff. I don't know, but I think that those two companies are similar or related somehow. Anyhow, this machine also has start and stop. It has the backspace. It has the needle down. It also has an auto thread cutter. This is also the speed control, which is the same as the Brother. So that way, if you don't want to use a foot pedal, you have manual control over the speed of your stitches. It's got the up and down presser foot. And then if you look right here, it also has a semi-auto thread needle threader. Okay, that's going to come into play. I'll show you on another video how that all works, but there's just more automatic features with this one. There's a whole lot more that this machine can do versus the other machine that I was talking to you about. You've got your tensions up here, and I'm going to move this camera up. I'm trying to keep it steady, but I want to at least pull it up here a little bit so that you can see. Hopefully you can see the amount of stitch types in this one. Now, if you remember, the Brother had 59, so this is 59 right here. But look at all these other choices that you have over here. You have so many more choices. And I have used some of these decorative stitches on all kinds of different things. So when you have all these choices, you can do a whole lot more with your machine. You can also determine the stitch length computerized. You can do all kinds of different things. So this machine for me was such an upgrade. Not only does it sew a little bit nicer, the machine is bigger, so my throat space. Now let me tell you what throat space is. In fact, let me kind of show you here with the Brother. I'm going to turn it over just a little bit. Throat space is this. So you see this opening here, how tiny that opening is? And then when you go over here to the Baby Lock, do you see how big it is right here? This is important when you're working on a big project, such as a bag, because I did a lot of bag sewing when I was learning. You got to have some space to be able to put all your extra fabric in. As you're moving it through, it's gonna roll up over here or whatever. You need that extra space. So upgrading to this mid-level machine was a huge upgrade for me. I was tickled. I was pleased as punch to have gotten this machine, and I absolutely loved it. It was such an upgrade, literally. I keep saying that, but it was such an upgrade. And it even comes with all kinds of extra presser feet in there and all kinds of little tools and all kinds of different things. I just felt like it was such a great thing, and it really is. Okay, so this was my upgrade machine, and I use this machine for another year, year and a half-ish before I decided that I really, really, really was interested in sewing and I wanted to do it. If I could, I would sew all the time, but I wanted to go ahead and upgrade to another type of machine that would help me get more precise piecing. It would help with the bulk, because this machine, even though it's a wonderful machine, it was struggling just a little bit with handling the bulk of the bags that I was trying to make. And I was also very interested in quilting and I needed some more precision. So when I left this machine, I upgraded to the Bernina. So let's talk about the Bernina. Okay, so now we're going to end at my final choice for a sewing machine. This is what I'm going to call, again, the Cadillac of sewing machines. I know that other people may feel differently. They may feel like Pfaff is better, or Janome, or Juki, or whatever. But for me, this was a purchase that I was scared to make because it was several $1,000s. I'm not going to lie, that hurt. However, I couldn't be more pleased with this purchase. This machine has page after page after page of different stitch types. There's all kinds of different things that the machine can do. It's got tighter spacing here under the feed dogs. It's got semi-automatic threading. It's got bigger bobbins. It's got so many more functions and so many more things that this machine can do, that this quite literally changed my sewing life. Like I said, I did my time with the other machines. I did my time with the beginner machine and the intermediate machine. And now this machine is the one that I love. It can do so many things. So, when you're ready to move up, I would move up in increments if you can. Start with a beginner machine, an intermediate machine, and then a final machine, and do your research and figure out what machine is best for you. Like I said, for me, I like the Bernina, but there are all kinds of other brands out there that also have good quality sewing machines. So when it comes to choosing, again, your final machine or your starter machine or your intermediate machine, there are lots of different choices, but what you really want to focus on is what that machine can do for you. This particular machine did everything I needed it to do. It handles the bulk beautifully. So when I'm making bags and I've got 3 or 4 different layers of foam, it handles it beautifully. This patchwork foot that I have on here right now is what I keep on here almost all the time, and it helps me make very precise pieces. And when I told my husband when I first got this machine that I seemed to be sewing better, I seemed to be sewing straighter, and I couldn't figure it out. I told him it just doesn't make any sense. But I started looking at the feed dogs and looking at different things, and I tried to sew the same thing on this machine versus the Baby Lock, and I was correct. I literally come out with better stitches on this one. So this one also has the auto start and stop. You can use the foot pedal if you want. You don't have to use the foot pedal. It's got all kinds of other features. And of course, you can see over here, I've got all kinds of other presser feet. Again, we can talk about those another time. But this machine can do so many more things. So that's the difference between starter, intermediate, and final. So anyway, I know that if you want to learn to sew, you probably want to you just probably want to jump right in. And I'm trying to give you a little bit of education about what different machines can do for you, different price points of machines, different types of machines, so that you know what you're getting into. I would always recommend that you go with the cheapest option that gives you the most options. And that, like I said, the CS 6000 Brother machine that I bought 15 years ago was perfect. It literally did everything I needed to do. I bought it years and years and years before I actually started using it. And when I did start using it, it covered all the bases for me. It helped me learn so many skills, so many different things. I upgraded my machines because the projects that I was making, I just needed more space. I needed more options. I needed more things. I needed more precision. I need to be able to handle more bulk. If your starter machine is doing everything you need it to do, there is no reason to upgrade. So don't think that once you get into sewing and after you've been sewing for a year or so, you have to upgrade. That is absolutely not true. If that machine is doing everything you need it to do, stick with it. I'm just trying to say that the number one thing that you have to do when you want to learn to sew is choose the right machine. And I do believe that there are a lot of us out there, me included, when I start a new hobby, I typically go all in, and I typically will just buy all the things, and I'll buy expensive things because I want everything to be nice. I want it to be wonderful. But with sewing, just understand that Yes, you can go with the most expensive machine to get started with. If you've got money burning a hole in your pocket, or you're doing really well and you just want the best stuff, absolutely go with that. But I would recommend that you start cheaper and learn some things about sewing machines, sewing in general, before you upgrade to a new machine. But anyhow, this is just the start of this series. I'm going to talk to you about so many different things with your machines. The next video that I want to show you is how to thread the machine, how to change your presser feet, and what do presser feet do. So the next installment of Sewing 101 is going to cover the ins and outs of using a sewing machine. So this video was choosing a sewing machine. The next video is going to be on using that machine. So anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and just let me know what other things that you want to know about sewing. And we're going to start learning to sew together. I'm going to teach you all the different things that I've learned along the way in the last couple of years, things that I have found that were invaluable, things that aren't what they're supposed to be or aren't what they were marketed to be. We're going to talk about all those different things. So anyhow, I hope that you have a great rest of the week, a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.